Welcome, Wet Shave fans. Today I thought I'd shave with my Frugal set of shaving tools. So that'll be the AKPOWER Brush, the Shaving Factory Razor, and the Shaving Factory Soap. I am using one of the derby blades that came with the razor. I only have 1 day of growth, so I'm going to snug it all the way down and get a nice smooth shave. So I've already got my brush wet, you can see, and I've got the soap into the cup that came with the AKPOWER, and so I'm just going to start loading the lather into the brush. Now when you're loading this lather, you don't want to push real hard. You just push enough that you can feel those tips resist, and let the tips of the brush do the work for you. They'll kind of scrub that soap up and move it into the brush. You can see I'm already getting some lather there. This is a really soft soap, so you probably don't need to bloom it. You can if you want. It will load probably a little bit faster, but it's already pretty soft. You can just smush it down into this cup. Right. There you go. You can see I've got a nice thick kind of pasty bit of soap going in there. I'm going to grab all the bits of fluff still left in the bowl there. And because I have the full beard, as I've said before, I like to use a bowl for lathering. So this is the 50-cent it cost me at Dollar Tree salsa bowl. So I'll just start lathering it up. And you can probably see now, if you look real close, the little lines that go up from down in the bottom of the bowl. And so the bowl's a little bit rough inside, and that's actually helpful when we go to whip a lather up, because it helps to whip air into your lather. If you get some of these bowls, say at Walmart, they've got some that are pretty smooth inside. You actually need to roughen it up a little bit. Well, I guess you don't have to use a smooth bowl, but if you roughen it up a little bit with some sandpaper, you'll get a quicker lather. I'm going to add a little bit of water there. So when you're lathering, the same thing applies. You don't crush the brush down into there. You should never try to touch the knot of the brush to the bottom of the bowl, or even to your face if you're face lathering. You just want to give it some gentle pressure so that you kind of flex those fibers in the knot. Add a little bit more water here. You kind of pump your brush in a little bit, pump some air into that lather. You can see I'm getting some great lather here. Nice lathered up. And we have pretty hard water here in the desert. But when I did a test with this soap, it just didn't seem to matter if I used distilled water or the hard tap water. So that's a nice thing for this soap, is that it doesn't seem to really be affected enough by the hard water to cause any problems. So there, I've just got that nice sheen to it, and it creates those kind of peaks. You can see. For my face, that is plenty of lather, because I'm not doing the whole thing. So I just got out of the shower, so my face is clean and hydrated. And I do like to massage in, kind of do a similar, face lather, but I don't need to do as much if I pre-lather in the bowl. soap up your nose, never fun. All right, rinse out my razor, get it warm. And one thing to talk about is how to find that right blade angle. So we say it's about 30 degrees, but it's 30 degrees from the blade. And it's rough, it's slightly different for everyone. But the real way to kind of experiment and try with it is, one, you can set the guard against your face and then lift up until you feel the blade, which means you got to be moving it a little bit in order to do that. If that doesn't work for you, then push the flat part itself, either against your chin or whatever, and then rock it down until you feel the guard touch your face. And remember, when you go to shave, no pressure. You're just touching your face with it. Let the blade do the work. So because I only have 1 day of growth and my skin really doesn't like it if I shave every day, I'm going to do what I would call a newbie shave. So I'm not going to go against the grain. Well, I might do it up top because that's not sensitive, but not on my neck. So I'm going to go you can probably hear that cutting, which is nice. That's part of how you tell. One thing you don't want to do, if you don't hear it cutting, don't push harder. You don't need to do that. Just let it go. When I first started, I wanted to hear that noise all the time, and I gave myself some nice weepers and razor burn because I was pushing too much. And that's one of the most common problems for new wet shavers, is you're used to pushing on your face with the old cartridge razors. You really don't need to do that at all. Just clean up there. All right, so quick first pass. Just rinse, throw some more soap on. All right, I can't stress enough how nice this brush is for as cheap as it is. And the fact that it comes with a bowl and a stand really makes it a great value. Once again, this is the AKPOWER Brush. I have no affiliation with them. I have no idea who they are, or who actually makes this brush, but they put together a decent little kit. There's nothing terribly fancy about it. It's definitely a budget kit. Plastic handle, plastic bowl. The stand is bent acrylic, but it looks nice. You set it on the counter and you shouldn't have any complaints. On my second and third passes, I find that I just don't need as much cushion, so I really just try to get a slick going. All right, second pass, I'm going to go across the grain. So when you're going to shave your face, you've got all these different angles that you need to think about, because you really want to hold that razor to the correct angle against your skin. So one thing that really helped me to think about is, and I saw this online somewhere, I couldn't tell you exactly where, I browsed so many of the different shaving websites, but think of your face as like a diamond with the facets of the diamond or of a gemstone. And so you want to create a flat spot and shave that spot. And then create another flat spot and shave that spot. So think of your face as, and so that you're not trying to adjust the angle as you go around, but do short strokes and adjust the angle between the strokes. So, of course, like on my neck, I can create a pretty nice flat spot going up and down. And I should mention, I said that I was not going to shave against the grain, and I am not. My neck hair goes side to side, comes in from both sides and meets kind of over here somewhere. So for me, that is all just across the grain. There you go, there's a second pass. And I'll see if I can show you here on my neck what I'm talking about with that, finding the angle. So set the guard against it and tilt up, and then you'll be able to kind of feel as it grabs those hairs, or put the head against and then rock it down. And you'll get two slightly different positions, but as long as you're in between those two positions, you'll shave. All right, I'm going to do a third pass again. This time I'll go in the opposite across grain direction. Now, if you're in a hurry or something, that my two pass that I just did would be fine. I could go to work and nobody notice anything. I just like shaving, so I like to hit that third pass, sometimes the fourth pass, you know, for the real cleanup. If you find that you're having trouble getting a good shave, or you know it just seems too rough on you, then there's a lot of great tutorials and stuff over at Badger and Blade online, and that can help you with just about every sort of issue that you may have, whether it's finding the right blade angle, or which blades to choose, where to start. There's lots of great tutorials over there. All right, I'm going to go with. So as I said, my neck hair goes sideways. So instead of going against the grain, which tends to cause a lot of irritation, I'm just going to do 3 passes across the grain on the neck. And the reason I didn't do with the grain is because that would mean going, sideways, and the curvature of my neck makes that a giant pain to get even kind of close. So I've found that for my face, just going across the grain, across the grain, across the grain gives me a damn fine shave on my neck. I'll get the occasional spots out on the wings here that need a little extra love. And I've got this weird spot right here. This is kind of that cowlick area where the hair swirls together. All right, there you go, 3 pass shave. And I am doing fine. That was a nice shave. So So now for the post shave, I'm going to rinse off. And I am going to use some witch hazel. So I'm actually going to dry off a little bit so the witch hazel doesn't have to compete with the water. And you can be a little liberal with this. It's so inexpensive, and it's not going to hurt if you get it on the rest of your skin. In fact, it's kind of nice because it just tones and tightens everything. There's all sorts of uses for witch hazel. If you get online and start doing some searches for uses for witch hazel, you'll find all sorts of cool stuff that you can use it for, as well as for a post shave. So now I'll let that dry a little bit. I'll hit it with some aftershave. And I'm using the dollar store aftershave. Fresh scent happens to be my favorite. There's a green as well as this blue. I didn't prefer the green, but you might, so check them out. For $1, it's awfully hard to beat. I like that smell. All right, wet shave fans, there you go. Quick shave, what I would call a newbie shave. And just 3 passes, none of them against the grain. If you get sensitive skin, and I was not going for, BBS. If I really wanted that baby butt smooth, I would have to go against the grain. But it is a perfectly acceptable shave, and if you're a new shaver, that's what you should be looking for. If you try to go for BBS right off the bat, you're going to have razor burn and a hard time. Let that build, let your skills build before you start going for the baby butt smooth. Have a good day.